Hey everyone, Danielle here. I'm doing a partial solo playthrough of Vantage. Thank you to Stonemeyer Games for sending me a review copy so that I could cover it on my channel. So I am kind of all done setting up, but I will explain what the overall board state is here. So I have a pile of all the storybooks. There's a total of 6 here in front of me. I'm keeping it in front of me this way. This way, the player aid is visible to me at all times. And then there is a separate book here for the part storybook. And then additionally, there's a couple of other booklets as well. So we have the rule book, we have the book of Vantage, and then another book of secrets. The character I chose is Soren, the navigator. There's a lot going on this card, so it's a little bit overwhelming for me. But I think after reading through the rule book and watching some, well, I guess the official how to play, I think I'm in a better position to talk about the game here. So we have this character card, which will be the center of my grid at all times. So in this game, you'll be gaining cards that you'll be placing around your character. So just to explain kind of the areas here. We have this top section. There are 2 slots that you can put challenge dice on. There are going to be requirements for some of them. For this one, you would have to be completing a, what is that action called? A look action to place a die here. Otherwise, you won't be able to place a die there. You'll be able to place a die here, and this icon typically means in multiplayer, you could place a die here for someone else's action, which is pretty neat. Not going to be too important in solo play. We can take actions throughout the game based off of these colored like tabs on cards. So you'll notice it on the character card, you'll notice it here on the location card, and also up here on the mission card. So the location card and the mission card was obtained during the setup. Some other things here is when you place this card, which is during setup, I would be placing 2 cubes on the card directly. These cubes are going to be boost cubes, so you will be able to use them throughout the game. You could use 2 as well to spend as to gain 1 coin or 1 money, or to trade in for gaining a skill token. So skill tokens are these. Since I am playing solo, I'm the first player, and typically the first player will have 4 tokens. And these are tokens that you'll be able to apply to challenges to decrease the amount of dice that you need to roll for a challenge. All right, so I'm going to place the 2 cubes, the 2 boost tokens that that I would have gained when I placed this card into my grid at the beginning of the game. So these are skill token dice. You'll roll these to randomly gain skill tokens. These are again boost cubes. We have here skill tokens that you'll gain throughout the game. They are limited supply. I doubt I'll run out as a solo player, but just so you know, you don't replace, you gain only what there is. And then this is the money. So this is kind of like the middle board area. We have the mission card up here. So this mission card is a horizontal card, and it says our mission is to have at least 3 cards plus 1 per player. So for me, it'll just be 4 in grids and or reserves with that challenge dice slot or a before ability. And if you do, you can read that book, that slot in the Book of Secrets. And it does have 4 actions on it as well. We have a section here for Destiny, but we don't have any Destiny cards that will come out, but we might have some at some point. Throughout the game, we have 3 things that we are tracking. So we're going to be tracking kind of like this. I forget what the star is. It's morale. So morale, health, and time. So if any of these ever hit 0, we end up reading a mission entry in the Take storybook. So we'll get to that if it happens in this video. We will start on the 4 that the rulebook suggests you start on when you first start the game. So we're going to put all those stats at 4. And then down here, we have a pool of challenge dice. You'll always have 8 plus 2 per player. So in a 1-player game, we're having 10 challenge dice. And then here is just a note, full grid. The first time a player has a full grid, gain Destiny 1705. And then once you gain it, you'll just put it right here. All right, I think I explained everything that's out right now. There's really not too many components, in my opinion. This is going to be very story driven and a lot of meaningful decisions. Okay, so let's take some actions, and that's really all this game is you're just doing actions, but you can't do the same action twice when you visit a location or even on your card. So I am going to note down what I'm going to be doing because I'm not sure I'll be able to remember everything. I tend not to. So I will be tracking my actions. Um, so as my first action, I think since I don't have much going on, maybe an equip on my character card. So I will just jot down on my little notes here that I am updating 1436, which is the card number, and writing down equip. All right. So now with that, I look at the equip book, which is green. This is well, the help storybook. Equip is the action I'm taking related to help themes. And then 1436 is what I'll be looking for. So 1436 says, let's see, 1436. The cost will be 4. It says equip your binoculars. Perform this action at most once per game. All right, so we don't really read the rest until we do the challenge. The challenge is rolling 4 dice. So unless we had any tokens that we could spend, and right now we don't. So probably not the best idea because I only have 2 slots and only 1 slot can be used to hold my to hold my die because this requires a move actually. So let's see what happens. All right. Wow, guys, that is pretty lucky because looking at, oh, I don't know if they have the dice icons here. But basically, what happens here is we are not placing, well, we could place 1 die here, and when we do, we'll gain time. We'll gain 1 time, but then the rest of the dice I can't place. There's always a risk that it's going to go back into the challenge dice pool, and that's not always great. I think a best case scenario was that these 3 dice had the line, which means it goes straight into the challenge dice penalty section. Like that was the best case scenario for me. Pretty neat. Okay. Because if it landed on the heart or the star or anything, that would all decrease by the amount that I rolled. So that was a really lucky roll, and it's pretty neat. I got that recorded. But yeah, now I can read the rest of that. So again, we're at 1436. And so the rest of it says, the binoculars offer you a fresh perspective of your surroundings. Gain item 1300. So let's go ahead. I have the box here, and I'm going to look for card 1300. Okay. So the number of the card is right here, and you'll just turn it around so that you can place your card. So this is an item card. It will allow me to place some additional dice, which is pretty cool. And this icon is going to be very helpful in our mission. So I'm going to place this into my grid. There's no one place to action, but this says it has an ability where if I had boost tokens on this or boost cubes, I can spend 2 to gain move, which is just another skill token, or gain my first personal objective, 1610. So I think I'm going to try to do that at some point. My next action, I think, will be one of the move, or I'm sorry, look actions. I keep thinking the purple is a move, but it's actually a look. That's this icon. Look, the move is actually the blue. But let's do the move. I'm sorry. Let's do the look because I have these 2 tokens that potentially could help. So I think I could do a prepare on the location card. So I'm just going to mark for card 709. I'm going to do prepare. Because again, you're not able to do them again. All right. At least that's my understanding. Hopefully I got that part right. So yeah, prepare 709. So I'm going to look for that book. This is the look storybook. And we're looking at 709. So anytime you're looking for a number, just look on the card that you're doing the action for. I love how easy that is. All right, 709. So that says J2. Oh, I don't know what that means, the J. Oh, are these all just have letters? Oh, they just have letters. I don't, okay. All right, so 709, 2, prepare to climb the rope. All right, so we roll 2, but I'm gonna just spend both of these. And then I don't have to roll anything. And so now, 709, you hear the sound of whimpering from above. Choose one. Gain one random skill and one skill of your choice. Or refresh all challenge dice from a row of your grid. Or gain one boost on each card in a column of your grid. Ooh, if only I put these on top of each other, that would have been great. But I did not. So I think actually in this case, I'm going to gain some skill tokens. So I get to gain a random one. So I roll a die, see what I get. Okay, I got a look. And then I get to choose one to gain. I guess in this case, I will gain overpower. All right, so let's look for the overpower one. And just place that here. So we have a good variety of skill tokens. And then the rest of it doesn't really say too much. So it says continue. So I could take another action. In a solo game, you're always just taking your turn. So if you were not in a solo game, multiplayer, you would just go to the next player typically to take their action unless you continue. And continue means you may take another action. All right, so let's do one more action here. I think because I have this backpack and I do want to try to gain my first personal objective, which I do need 2 boost tokens or boost cubes, I'm going to try to do an action where I could gain a boost cube. So in this case, I could gain a boost cube if I were to place a die that's for a challenge on the look storybook. So I already did the look here. So what I'll do is I'll do the, so I have a choice, master or research. I'll do research. So I'm going to do research on 1595. Note that down. Okay. So now that I've noted that, we'll look for entry 1595 on this book. And on the left, it says 2, research. Research how you can complete this mission. This action can be performed at most once per game. Okay. So we will research, and I think I will roll both dice here. So I'll grab 2 challenge dice and roll. Okay. And then so I will place this here and place this here. And in both cases, I will gain a boost cube. Perfect. And just so you know, I could always spend a cube here to reroll one of my challenge dice. And if it ends up being the same roll, I get to gain a look token. Or I could transfer 1 reserved card into my grid. A reserved card is a card you gain that exceeds the amount of cards you already have around your grid. You can only have at most 9 cards in your grid, including your character. All right, so let's finish reading what this says. So this says, a dangerous dictator rules your homeworld with an iron fist, and you manage to escape the blockade there to seek allies, weapons, and skills. Any card with an overpower slot, even a specific ability, counts towards this goal. Some of these items are found in treasure chests. Gain the map of treasure, 1260. Ooh, okay. So we have this map of treasure now, and just looking here, it says when placed, gain 1 cube per adjacent card. So that'll be neat. I'll at least gain 1. And then if I wanted to, I could spend 1 to view page 17 of the Book of Vantages until the end of this turn. Cool. Okay, well, let me just double check something. Okay, yeah, I was just curious. All right. So that's an interesting one where this says it has to be this specific die that I place here. Anyway, I'll place this card here, and then I will get to gain a cube because I have my character card adjacent to it. All right. That was an action. And so you would just continue going through this game. You'll gain various items, tidbits into maybe the direction or actions you might want to take. And once you complete the mission, that's typically when you might want to, well, the story will tell you what happens, honestly. I can't say what's gonna happen. The end of the game can end in many ways. And the rulebook even states it could even end just because the time you allotted for the game is completed. And I think that's what's so cool about this is so open-ended, and you can see from all these books and the thousands of cards that we have here in the box, you'd be able to have such a great experience just exploring and taking, um, I don't know, just taking a bunch of actions. And I think the beauty of it in solo is that you get to have this whole adventure to yourself. And I like that aspect. I think some people might enjoy the aspect of playing with other people because there is hidden information. Um, you actually normally would use a stand so that your opponents can't see your location. So that's pretty neat. You could describe your location and things like that, but they can't actually see it. But yeah, I think there's a lot going for this game. The replayability is probably going to be huge, especially as you try out all the different characters, um, depending on different actions and the cards you have. A lot can factor into a really unique play experience. So, yeah, very cool game. And let me know if you've tried it before, what your experience has been every time you've played. If you played solo, multiplayer, which one you prefer. Would love to hear your thoughts about this one. But yeah, my first impression is that this is probably going to be a game that really stays on the table for a while. I think the time for this in terms of like per session is 120 minutes to 180 minutes. And I think that's kind of like a little bit long for me, but in a game like this where it's so story driven, I think that is the right amount of time to spend in a session. All right. So that is my quick solo overview of this awesome game, Vantage. And thanks so much for Stonemeyer Games for sending me a copy. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you want to see me play this game like fully, let me know. I can try to make that happen. I have some time off coming up that I could plan around to do just that. But otherwise, I might do some just quick videos here and there to just show my adventure, but not the whole thing, if that makes sense. All right, I'm gonna stop rambling. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.